Hey guys, I'm really excited to announce that registration is now open for the Self Storage Summit. So go to theselfstoragesummit.com. So the big question is this: how are those in the self-storage industry like us going to be successful in today's market? That's the question, and this show will give you the answers. My name is Jim Ross, and welcome to the Self Storage Show. All right, who we got on? How's it going so far? Cool. Got a few people on. Great. Yeah, like I said before, you can do these LinkedIn lives if you're online. Cool beans. Awesome. I always let people watch them later on. It goes on the podcast and Facebook and kind of gets put everywhere. But this gives me the opportunity to just come live and riff for a little bit. So here you go. Again, I appreciate you guys that are able to tune in live. That's fantastic. That's kind of fun. Makes it a little more of a connection that way. So if you're on, say hi, please. It's always nice. Anyway, real quick, a couple of things off the top here. Couple shameless plugs. If you haven't yet on the podcast I talked about, go to subscribe on that. It's pretty much everywhere as far as where podcasts are, or if you want, there's also an app. A little bit center more. There we go. There's also an app. It's the Self Storage Show. It's on Apple, Google. You can download that and hey, just right there on your phone. It's kind of it's a little different way of consuming it that way, but yeah, I like the app. It's kind of cool. So check that out if you want to. I got some more marketing media coming out with the Self Storage Summit. So keep an eye out for that. I actually just finished a little 30-second teaser promo video that I'm kind of proud of. So I'll probably put that out. I'll probably put that out tomorrow. See what kind of reaction that gets, but something different. Like I said, with this, especially on the summit, hey, just having fun. I've been recording it for the last week or so now with speakers. Got about a third of them done so far. Because again, with the summit, yes, it goes live, on November 19th and 21st, but they're pre-recorded. There's no way I'm getting 30 speakers and going live at one day and that'd go crazy. So they're pre-recorded, goes live that way on those days. So that day, first day it goes live is 10 speakers. You have all that day to go through and consume as much as you want. Some topics will be for you, some topics they won't be, okay? But they'll be there for you to consume. And the next day, first day gets shut down, second day opens up. Cool, you got those speakers to choose from. Same day for the third day. Again, as always, there's always that all access pass if you want to purchase that. Some extra cool bonuses on top of that as well. And then you own, all the content. You can use it as training, have it for as long as you like, watch as much as possible, So there's the quick shameless plug at the very top of that. So anyway, for today, I'll just talk about being, kind of a student of the game of storage here. I know I am. For you guys that are tuning into, what I put out there, and different kind of people that I have come on the storage show that are, have a lot of great value of things to say. It's fantastic. It's a great way of being, like I said, kind of a student of the industry, and that's how you learn and grow. And it's hopefully meant for managers and owners and operators. Can all get something out of that. For today, I was thinking this would be more along the lines of I guess for owners, they're kind of more of the mom and pop places. But I really like to have managers be taking as much ownership, for lack of a better word, in their business. And not just, waiting to get told what to do kind of a thing, but kind of taking the reins on some things. And, I personally love that, so it's kind of a vested interest of, you kind of setting yourself for success, of really learning and growing and then knowing your market inside and out. And you're going to be invaluable asset, to the storage business. So it's kind of the little angle topic I wanted to talk about today here. And really, it comes down to being the student. I'll just give you a quick little checklist here, but kind of being the student of storage is, of course, expanding your mind of what's going on in the industry. And a lot of times, this kind of just learning where it came from, and gosh, just go on Wikipedia and type in self-storage and get a quick history lesson, of how long it's been around for, really how big the industry is. Before too long, make sure I hear me. All right, good. And a lot of times that's eye-opening for people that just really kind of start understanding really how big this industry is as a whole. You're like, oh, wow, okay. So you can start looking at that. It gives you some different perspective. Let's start off with really kind of knowing your market. Start there for a second. A lot of times I'll see your manager that they know their site, of course, inside and out. But we all know, for storage, it's 3 mile market. That's usually a good general rule. Sometimes it's getting smaller, depending on how much competition is coming into your area and just how dense of population it is. But usually 3 mile, that's a good general rule. That's why I had my first company named 3 Mile Domination. So there you go. There's a great tool out there. It's Radius Plus. Check those guys out. For them, it's a great tool. You can go on and essentially just do like a free trial, quite frankly. Put in your address where you're at, check out your competition. A lot of times people will be like, oh, I had no idea I had that much competition. So just that fact alone is kind of eye-opening. I'm just seeing really, what you're up against. And again, I'm all for working with my competition and as much as possible with some alliances and things like that. And I'll do an episode just on that too. But it's call for what it is. They're still my competition. I'd rather get the rental than over, come to me than go to them. So yeah, there's no competition. So know what you're up against. And that's, really big factor of being a student of the game is just knowing what the playing field is in your market. And of course, it comes down to knowing what your competition is. And that Union Radius Plus, I'll put a link on the comments here for you. It's a great resource. They've actually come a long way in the last couple of years I've been watching as far as just, what they're offering and the tools they have coming out there. It's pretty cool. So have a lot at your fingertips. And it's a great way to see what's existing in your market and also what's down the pipeline, what's coming. It gives you an idea of sites under construction, plans that have been pulled, that kind of stuff. So good idea to know your market inside and out. So I'll get off my soapbox on that, but that's a good first step, really, in knowing what's in your market, what you're up against. Then it comes down to, the next big tool is marketing. And this never ends, okay? I don't care if you're just starting out and you're brand new and you got all the units to fill or you're full. I don't care. You still have to market, even if you're full, because we all know people don't stay forever. I wish they would, but no, it's storage. Roughly you're going to get 10% of people every month moving out, that's usually my general rule. I think of 100 units rented, 10 of those are going to move out each month. Okay, at 200 units rented, 20 are going to move out each month. I just kind of have that in my head, and that way I'm not shocked when people are moving out. Okay, so you're just always thinking of, okay, I need to market myself to make sure I get those leads coming in. It's all sales. Okay, you're nothing without a lead, obviously. So you're nothing without marketing and getting yourself out there to get those rentals still coming in to fill up those units that are people moving out of. I won't give names or anything like that, but I always like to reference conversations I've had or interactions I've had. I've had this chat many times with owners that usually the first thing they like to cut back on once they get full is the marketing budget. And it's like, no, that's your lifeblood. That's the blood that's feeding the beast here. That's you need that. That's the last thing you want to cut. There's some things like, for instance, maybe spare foot kind of a thing or something like that you want to be paying for those kind of leads that you can kind of, assess some of those here and there. Maybe it might be not a good fit or maybe just certain size codes, take those off. I get that kind of a thing, but marketing in general, yeah, you got to keep that going. And as far as marketing goes, that comes down to being a student of the game as well. When it comes to marketing, you're always learning when it comes to marketing, online especially. with the bigger boys and the big REITs, they got teams. They got teams of people. This is all they do all day long, is they're focusing on what they can do to make sure they're getting seen, make sure they're getting the phone call, make sure they're getting the rental over you. Okay. And you got to be able to compete against that and really, again, be a student of the game on this. And with that, like online, you got your pay-per-clicks. Okay. That's Google, Google AdWords. This thing of when you type in stores near me, whatever comes up on top, generally that's your ads. I'll say a little ad kind of thing on top. Well, you pay to play, you pay to be seen on those kind of things. And generally, I would say if you have a SEO company that's helping you out with your website, they're going to be offering this service. Okay, let them do it. I'm serious. Just put that aside. That's the part of the marketing budget. Let them do what they do on that kind of stuff, because it's nice to have it set up. It's great to have it be monitored. Great to have a good call to action, which just means your headline, basically, what's your special, that kind of thing. Generally, usually what it ends up being. And look, again, your competition and seeing what the big boys are doing. They're doing it for a reason. So once it's out there, kind of, you can not say copy, but you can kind of mirror, what they're doing, and use that as a model to go off of. They're not just throwing money away. Whatever they're advertising, whatever they put on their headline, it's there for a reason. Okay, it's been time and tested over and over and over again. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can kind of look what's already working for other people. Okay, that's really the kind of bottom line. Again, that's being the student of the game, seeing what other successful people are doing and then making it your own. Okay, and I'm never about ripping people off, but kind of make it your own. A lot of the stuff I do, I mirror from other people in other industries, and I kind of make it my own. That's doing this. There's other people who do this kind of stuff, and they're in niches. I'm like, I'm going to do it in my industry. So there you go. For storage, again, for online, if you can do it yourself, fantastic. But that's very few and far between the people that have the time, or B, the knowledge to really have an effective online campaign. So you pay for that. Okay, that's what these guys do for a living. Be able to ask the right questions, hold them accountable, what's being done correctly, what you're paying for. And that's just a matter of, monitoring it and seeing what's going on and being able to track where the rentals are coming from what kind of marketing source, whether it be pay-per-click, or just you're on your regular website and organic, or your Google My Business listing. I want to do a whole thing just on Google My Business. What is that, real quick? Give it 2 minutes here. That's like your ABC listings. It has like a little red balloon type of thing, and you look on storage near me, anything on your phone or on the website. It's like the maps deal. That's Google My Business. Okay, usually have 3 that show up on the front page. You have to hit more to see more of them on there. It's free. It's fantastic. It's basically figured that as your website for Google. Okay, that's free. There's a whole lot you can do on there that is just given to you by Google on the silver platter. You just have to really just fill in the blanks on it and optimize it. I will be doing a course on that specifically, because that's, I could sit here for really an hour, and I've done it with a number of sites and just kind of gone through their listing, their profile, and helped them optimize it. I just don't have the time at the moment right now. So I'm going to build a course that you can go through that will be applicable to you and just for storage, and just kind of follow along. Okay, but right off the bat, if you don't have access to your Google My Business listing, what I mean is like your back end. So when people leave a review, you're getting notified, and you can leave a review back to them and say, cool, thank you so much for your review. That was awesome. Or we can upload photos, that kind of thing. Right off the bat, if you don't have access to that, figure it out. Find who has access, who is the admin on your Google My Business listing, especially you as a manager. You need to have that. You need to have access to that, especially when people are leaving reviews. You can reply right back to them. That's really important. I'll get into this later on, but there's a whole thing you can do on your phone, Google My Business app, to be able to take pictures and upload it right there within the Google My Business app. But it does you no good unless you have access. Okay. And way too often, when I talk to people, they're like, "Well, we have a listing." I'm like, "Cool. All right. Well, who's the admin? How do you get access to it? Let's log in. Let's check it out. And they're like, I don't know. And it's just kind of like I forget maybe who actually claimed it or who has access. I don't know. So please, there's a little homework assignment today is make sure you have access to that, because that will set stuff up for later on when we go through kind of more of a optimization strategies on the Google My Business listing. So I kind of got off on a rant on that one. But yeah, it's being a student for marketing. Okay, it's going back to that. There's a lot to learn when it comes to that kind of stuff. So really just looking to model what other people are doing and going through it and teaching yourself. But again, I leave it for the SEO and your AdWords. Leave that to the experts to help you out with that. Google My Business stuff, you can really start teaching yourself on that as well. Google is a wonderful thing to be able to teach yourself on this kind of stuff too, especially for the Google My Business listings. So check that out. And then, as far as being a student of the game, and that really comes down to how you present yourself on the phone and sales techniques. You've been following me for any length of time. You've seen you had to call counts kind of thing when I'm calling sites and I evaluate their phone calls, and there's a lot to be desired in a lot of those phone calls. So you heard me talk about that. You've seen the sales call flow sheet. Again, it's just being that student of what can I do to improve a little bit. It's not knocking yourself on how you're doing things now. No, just always asking yourself, how can I improve a little bit? And your phone calls and your sales presentations are extremely, extremely important. Really honing yourself, honing your skills, and getting that dialed in. So I would say, hey, right now, call some rates. Okay. Again, these guys, they get the reps because they have the call centers. Okay. Those call centers are getting the reps every day of just call after call after call after call. And I'm not saying, again, don't rip them off, but use it as a model of, oh, I like that, or I like the way they have this kind of flow. Your eyes will be open a little bit to just really a nice, professional, really zeroed in sales presentation. Okay, so do that today. Call your Extra Spaces and your CubeSmarts and Live Storages and things like that, and Publix, and just listen to their sales presentations. Make some notes. What you like, what you don't like, that kind of thing. And maybe you can incorporate some of that stuff into your own presentation. You've seen my stuff as well. You can go to, again, another quick plug, but if you go to selfstoragecommunity.com, I'll bring you to my Facebook group. In the units section, I have my sales call script. You can download it, there you go. Okay, it's right there for you. I've kind of used that as a little hub for a lot of this kind of stuff that I always talk about. So that way it helps me from not having to email everybody every time. So it's all there for you. But again, anything else that you can't find or need help with, just shoot me a message and let me know. All right. But that's a big one. Is really kind of become a student of how you can better your sales presentations. And that's just that one little thing alone will make a huge difference, especially if you're in RentUp. Okay. Sometimes people get fuller and they don't have the certain sizes available. You kind of get lazy on the phone, But man, you're in RentUp and every call counts. That's hence why it's named it that way. You really have to focus on nailing every call because you need that rent. So do that today. Okay, take 30 minutes. And call some of your sites, your competitors. Give them a dummy number. I don't care. I just so you can hear how that sales call presentation goes. I have a feeling it'd be pretty eye opening for you. And then we'll wrap this up. And I'll try to keep in mind on the time here for you. As far as being a student, that really comes down to also is now you've got your marketing in line, you got your conversions in line, the sales. Now that they're at the storage facility, what we can do to maximize your revenue, and that's a whole other section as well. But focusing on what you can do for revenue management, is it auto programmed into the storage software where it's based off a move-in date? If they're getting their rent raise, 6 months after they move in and every year after that, for instance, and having those systems programmed in. Search online, it goes a long way. Just type it in self-storage revenue management. There's a lot of articles out there. We've talked about it plenty on this show. just seeing what's out there, that kind of information. Of course, we'll get into it on the summit as well, but that's a few months down the road. So, hit the ground running, start now, and really just seeing what other people are doing, talking with other people, just going on the Inside Self Storage Talk has a great forum on there. You can research things on there as well for revenue management, for instance, and just seeing what people are doing. Again, this is all about, I keep going back to this, but being a student of the game and just learning from other people. Just because you've done it a certain way for so long doesn't necessarily make it right, quite frankly. I'm not saying that's wrong, essentially either, but you can always be improving. That's really the bottom line, is like kind of that constant and never-ending improvement. Because if you're not, they're compared down the street, they are. And it's just a matter of time before, you'll start feeling those effects of your competitors kind of squeezing you in. And if you're not improving your game, yeah, you're going to feel the effects sooner or later, okay? And that's kind of what motivation, what I've been putting this stuff out there for, honestly, is just sometimes it's a kick in the butt with people of really just listening to this kind of stuff. And unfortunately, I hate to say it, but the people that really need it, to go to like the shows and go to and being a student of the game and learning from things such as this, they're not. It's usually people that are already on top of the game and really focusing on improving. They're the ones that are soaking up in information, implementing different strategies and trying new things, and they just keep improving. And so the people that, frankly, need this kind of stuff that don't, So doing my best to get it out in front of as many people as possible, but you can't force people. At times they have to be ready, willing, and able to listen and implement lots of times. So that's kind of a conundrum I think of sometimes, when it's like the people that need this the most don't do it, and the ones that are already kicking butt, they're the ones that are just keep getting better and better and better. So anyway, for those of you who are listening to this and actually going to your conferences and learning and growing as much as possible, good job. You keep it going, because I know it's already in you guys to just keep things going, keep learning. So I commend you for that. And hopefully this will just keep spreading. And then those that really need it, it'll come across them and like, oh, okay. Maybe something will snap one of these days. And like, oh, okay, I better get on my game and start being a student of the game and learning. So in summary, I kind of leave it at that. Again, I really appreciate you guys, tuning in and watching this kind of stuff and spreading it. Because again, it's all about bringing value, raising the game a little bit in storage, that we all have better operations, treat our managers better, great sales presentations. Everybody, everyone can do a little bit today to make themselves a little bit better than they were yesterday. That's what the bottom line is, kind of that constant and never-ending improvement. So, I can blab on here for 25 minutes, but if you get one little thing out of it, I said for 5 seconds, sweet, cool, all right, mission accomplished. So again, appreciate you guys. Subscribe to the podcast. Check out the summit at theselfstoragesummit.com. I'll get that cool little promo video up here probably tomorrow. Get that going. You have to let me know what you think about it. So anyway, let's wrap this up. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you tomorrow. All right, take care. Bye.
Thanks for supporting the show. I want to let you know that we've just opened up our brand new free private Facebook group. There I'll be having some extra special content not found anywhere else. If you really want your facility to be a success in today's market, then this is going to be the place for you. You can request to join us at selfstoragecommunity.com or search for Self Storage Domination Community on Facebook.